Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Between Sessions with Berries. We have a very cool guest today. I can't wait for you guys to get to know Crystal Jones. Today we're going to deep dive into the heart of what it means to be a healer in today's world. Crystal is an LMFT, a practice owner, and the founder of Couch Talk with Crystal. She is passionate about helping individuals and couples navigate life's challenges. Crystal integrates a holistic approach to therapy, weaving together the mind-body connection, radical self-care, and even trauma-informed yoga to help her clients find true wellness. Crystal, welcome to Between Sessions with Berries. I'm so glad to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
You're welcome. So you have a really interesting combination of credentials. You're a licensed therapist, and then you're also a registered yoga teacher. How do you weave these two modalities together in your practice?
Yeah. So I love it, actually. I love that I have the clinical side, and then I also have this yogic philosophy side to approach my clinical work with my clients. And the way I integrate it is really a lot of somatic work as well, a lot of mind-body approaches, a lot of really feeling into the body, and then also utilizing some of the 8 limbs of yoga, but like the yogic philosophy into the clinical side, because it really mirrors each other. When I was going through my yoga teacher training, a lot of it was similar to the clinical work, but it was more spiritual. And then also there was more philosophy behind it and body work too, which I loved. So I utilize this a lot with individuals and couples to really help with grounding and helping with self-care as we move into deeper work together.
That's amazing. So tell me about the 8-arm philosophy. I don't think I've heard it put that way before.
Yeah, so it's the 8 limbs of yoga. There are 8 limbs, and actually at the top of my mind, I can't even think of all 8, but
yeah, sure.
nonetheless.
But I can see the picture, right, with the arms and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, it's so the different forms of yoga. So here's the thing. A lot of people, when they hear yoga, they think, oh, poses. Oh, we're going to sit here and do this pose. We're going to be upside down. When, yes, and that's just one of the limbs of yoga. Asana. That is the asana practice. The other limbs include meditation and breath work, the prana, the energy. There's more to it than just moving your body. It's really embodying the practice, the spiritual side, the emotional side, the breath work that comes with it. So there's different forms, different ways that you can do yoga. Yoga does not have to look like I'm upside down somewhere. It can look like I'm sitting here and I'm breathing and being mindful of my thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense how it weaves into the therapeutic approaches that we already do. With deep breathing, that sort of thing. Oh my gosh. I love nothing more than a child's pose in a yoga class. I'm like, can I just sit here all day?
Yes, literally one of my favorites. And to amp it up a bit, a restorative child's pose, so putting like a bolster underneath you to hold you.
Love it.
Chef's kiss.
Love it. I love it. Now, would you do that in a session? Probably people are listening. They're like, how do you incorporate that? Would you say like, hey, let's just get down on the floor and do a child pose right now? Or is it just sort of like an organic medley of like clinical work and then yoga poses and you just kind of like weave it all in together?
I'll take it case by case. It would depend on the client and their comfortability, because sometimes people, and that's fine, especially with me doing trauma work, but sometimes I'll ask, and most of my clients know that I am a yoga teacher and I will talk about the breath and centering and possible movement. But I have a bolster, I have yoga mats.
Nice.
I'm looking to get some more, but yes, I'll incorporate, or pillows. I'll figure out how to make a prop out of something. And in real time in session, sometimes when clients struggle with the talk piece and saying like,
Yeah.
I can't explain the feeling, I don't have the words. I'll say, let's drop into the body. What does it feel like? Where is it in your
Wow.
body? How big? How small? What color is it? Does it have a shape? Or does it have a movement? And kind of moving
Nice.
into that. And if they're open to yoga poses and movement, I will incorporate certain yoga poses. There are certain poses that are for grounding. There are some that are more activating. It just depends on
Yeah.
where the client is, because there's a lot of heart opener poses too that can cause a lot of emotion to show up, and hip openers too, where it can be a
Oh,
flood of emotion. So you want to be mindful of what poses you're introducing clients to. So that's why I'm really mindful of who is in front of me, what have they been through, what case am I navigating currently, and would this be beneficial? Do they need a child's pose right now? And sometimes, most of the time, yeah. So we'll get on the floor,
yeah.
move into a child's pose. I'll have a blanket maybe over their back for that extra bit of safety.
Wow. I love that. Yeah, that's so interesting. So, really taking that trauma informed lens into your clinical
Yes.
decisions around the type of yoga that you're going to be doing or incorporating into sessions and on an individualistic basis, depending on the
Yeah.
history and all of that. Yeah, that's so smart. So that's what you mean by holistic. Like in your bio and all that, it talks about being a holistic practitioner. I guess that's what you mean. You take all that into account and use your clinical judgment and decision making around how am I going to incorporate all this together for the client. Wow.
Yes. All of that. Yes.
Love it. Yes, that's so cool. Okay. All right. So let's talk about burnout, like clinician burnout, client burnout, that type of thing. What does burnout actually look like for a therapist or somebody else before
Mhm.
they even realize that it's happening? How do we know that we're burned out before we even burn out?
This is like the question, right? It can be a challenge, especially when you're not aware of the signals that your body's giving you, that your nervous system is giving you, because it's almost like we end up there and it's like, "Oh, how did this happen? I'm over here like super burnt out. I don't want to do this work anymore at all." But there are signals before then, right? There are signs. It might be a small sign of feeling a little bit of irritability before your next client, or a certain type of client too. Maybe it's feeling a little bit of irritability. Maybe it is the exhaustion, maybe some fatigue. You wake up getting ready for work and it's kind of like, oh, I don't want to do this. I'm so tired, but I slept well last night. What's going on? I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. Maybe getting crabby or snippy with others around you. Maybe sparking off at the mouth. That's one of the many things. Another thing, especially for therapists, I think this is pretty common. We sit and then we talk to people or we hold space all day long, and then we come home and sometimes we're just not, we don't want to engage at all
Yeah.
with family members, maybe children or spouses. So that is also another sign too. It's kind of like, okay, maybe something needs to shift here. Maybe feeling some sort of resentment towards the work that you do, towards certain clients too. And then also transference in session. If you start, the session starts to switch and the client is the therapist and the therapist is in the client's seat. That's kind of like, yeah, burnout. We're here.
Yeah. I've done that a few times. It's like, oh, shit, I'm talking about myself in session. What am I doing?
Wait.
I'm totally
Yeah.
relating here and I need to be focused on you. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good perspective to realize that's probably part of burnout if you start doing stuff like that. Yeah, or you need your own
Yeah.
therapist.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's real. That's, yes.
I love it. So what do you think it is about us as helping professionals? Like we're so good at like, oh, you need your self-care, your good boundaries, take time for yourself, like all of that. Why are we so good at telling our clients about this stuff, but we're so terrible doing it for ourselves? What do you think that's about?
You know, sometimes I like to think that we go to school, we learn things, and we know it all. It's like, you know what? I'm a therapist. Of course I know about self-care. Of course I know about all the diagnoses and how to do this and how to do that. I don't need the help, or I don't need this. And so having that mindset, and then your body sending you signals, and then you start moving in a different way that other people are noticing. And you're recognizing that, oh, wait, I am a human being as well. And I might actually need support in this area. I might actually need to incorporate self-care in a different way. One thing I do notice a lot in our field too is therapists will say, I don't need a therapist. I am a therapist.
Right.
I don't need it.
Yes.
You're a therapist. If anything, you're the one who needs it the most. And that's how I knew, like you said, even recognizing the burnout in myself when it occurred, that's when I was like, okay, I really need a therapist now before I really start getting into this work. This was when I was in residency at the time. And it really changed the trajectory of my work and how I work, because I had a space for myself and focusing on my own self-care. Because ultimately, if I'm not practicing what I preach, what do I look like? It's pretty hypocritical after a while if you're just like, yeah, everyone needs therapy, mental health this, we need to all see the lady. And I'm not seeing the lady. And I see trauma client. Yeah, no, sign me up immediately because I need a space. But it's really recognizing that you're human and understanding that just because you know all of the things, it doesn't mean that you can bypass the healing.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Just skipping bites, just skipping over it. And the whole, I don't need a therapist that is in my mind.
I mean, I've been there before too. I think it's like shame a little bit. It's like, I should already have it all figured out because I'm helping people with their own lives. I shouldn't need that level of help. I should be fully functioning and doing well. Yeah.
You would think that, right? You would think that. It's like, yeah, I should be this. But then if you look in the grand scheme of things, we're professional secret keepers. We are holding a whole lot that our clients are just giving to us in the space, and we're holding on to it. If anything, we're the main ones who need the help so that we're able to continue doing our jobs, ultimately sustaining in the career that we love.
Yeah, because I mean, it's really not natural to listen to 8 hours of people a day dump everything they've ever been through and then just go home and like hang out with your family. That's not a normal state of being without some sort of support.
It's not.
We hear a lot of serious stuff. Yeah.
All day. And then it's not like we can talk about work the way that other people can. So it's like, yeah, I just heard some of the worst stuff that I'm never going to hear in 8-hour day. And then I have to come home and pretend I'm okay. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yes, exactly. Okay, and so another thing about you that I think is really amazing, on top of the yoga certification and being a yoga teacher, you also are trained in EMDR. So you incorporate all of that into this holistic practice, which I love. And I want to talk a little bit too about like your practice model. How do you introduce these topics to your clients? Is it like this person might really love the yoga stuff, this person might not, kind of thing? Or do you just like advertise that and most people come to you and they're like, I'm getting this yoga teacher and this EMDR-trained therapist, and she's also a licensed therapist. You kind of approach it that way? Like, I just wonder how you incorporate all of those amazing modalities into one practice.
Yeah, so I do market it that way, as I'm EMDR-trained, I am a licensed therapist and yoga teacher as well. They're all options too. So people do seek for different things. So I have people who seek EMDR therapy only. I even offer EMDR intensives.
Oh,
where
nice.
Sometimes I'll incorporate the yoga into the EMDR intensive. I actually did it for a case once with a couple, in fact.
Oh, let's hear about that.
Yeah, incredible. So because I work with a lot of couples, I was working with this couple for a while, and I saw that EMDR might be beneficial for the both of you. And so I introduced the idea. They were interested. So we decided to move forward and do an EMDR intensive for them both, where I utilized, you have one spouse who will be the EMDR client. And then the other spouse was the resource at the time. So I utilized them as the support in real time. Some of the yogic philosophy that would come in, I offered them the opportunity to even have an altar if they wanted with ancestors or family members that they love so that they could have the resources that surrounded them while they were taking this journey through EMDR. And it was beautiful. And with the processing aspect, so, with intensives, this is not just an hour session. We're going hours at a time, sometimes days. And so the way I incorporate the yogic aspect of it is we'll do the EMDR work, the resourcing, the processing, maybe like the first half. And then the second half, I'll incorporate some movement, some poses, because it's a lot of work that we're doing with processing. Sometimes the body needs to release. And so we would do that every day. And it was beautiful because towards the end, one of the spouses, we ended up in the mountain pose, which is standing up, crown to the sky, hands outward, just kind of feeling tall and strong. And I remember them saying, I'm empowered. I feel empowered. I am empowered. And that was their positive cognition that we utilized to increase. So it was strengthened all the way to like a 7. We did our movement and we instilled it in there with that mountain pose. To this day, it's one of the most impactful moments of my career.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm trained in EMDR too. And just to hear, it just sounds like the holistic approach, but also like a very intuitive approach. So you've got all these skills and the EMDR and the yoga and all that, and then being able to do it in an intensive setting where it's like you probably are just going with the flow and knowing like, oh my God, what feels a mountain pose? Let's do it right now. This is what we need right now. Like, and just like having that intuitive, like knowing as a clinician that is guiding that whole process. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yes. You're completely correct. That's exactly how it goes. It's just like being intuitive, but also because I've done the self-work and then going through my teacher training, there was a lot of self-work and embodiment in that. So it comes with that. So the embodiment and then the intuitiveness, like it pairs, it's all in alignment. And it's a beautiful thing when you can just tap into that and you know your clients too really well and you know how they feel. It's like a serendipitous moment when it happens. And it's like, we're good. We're doing some good work here.
Oh, I love that so much. And how cool is it that you've been able to build this practice right around what you do and just having the freedom to be able to just like, hey, we're just going to do a 5-hour intensive and we're going to do some yoga, and we're going to do some EMDR, and we're going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's part of what this podcast is about. Like, I want people to get that message. You can build this thing however you want and do the type of work that you want with your clients and help so many people without being like in this restrictive little box that you've got to do it this way. Some therapists might be like, I can't bring yoga into the therapy room, but yes, you can.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, we're breaking out of the box. We're deconstructing things.
I love it. It's so inspirational. Yeah, I hope somebody listening is like, oh my God, I never thought I could do that. Yeah, so I think that's really cool that you're sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. For therapists listening who feel like their nervous system is constantly in overdrive, what is one small daily practice that they can implement into their own lives to help them in this wild job that we do to regulate?
One small thing that therapists can do, because I love this question, and the first thing that really comes to mind is pausing in between sessions. Now, I know that some of us are still in the habit of back-to-back. I would love for us to move away from that, but I understand systems, different things, we're in different areas. My goal is to see therapists moving away from back-to-back sessions so that they can pause in between. But if that looks like pausing after a session, even if it's 30 seconds, even if it's a minute or so, but pausing in between sessions to take a break, to stand up, to breathe, to honor the space in between, tending to yourself in between, slowing down before you're moving into the next space. Honestly, if you want to reframe it this way, out of respect for your next client, your next client doesn't deserve to rushed you, dysregulated you. Any way that you can regulate before moving into the next, even if that's taking some lotion and rubbing your hands right before, maybe doing a neck roll or so, breathing, hand to chest, abdomen, just touching your body, grounding really quick, saying, I'm here, maybe a few affirmations. I'm a competent therapist. I am skilled in what I do. I am whole. Those things, they're small things that can make a big change. Yeah. Eventually, I would love for us to take bigger gaps in between so that we can go to the bathroom, eat something.
Yeah. Take a little walk, do everything that you just said. Yeah. I'm not in that situation now, but I know in the beginning of my private practice I was. It was like, let me get as many people in here as I can, make as much money as I can, help as many people as I can. And it was exhausting. When I think about it now, it's like, how did I do that? Yeah.
Literally, it is the perfect recipe for burnout. If you want to burn out quickly, back to back, 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekend. That's the recipe. Have it. I'm not doing that ever again.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Praying for a cancellation, right? It's like,
yes.
Please, somebody cancel.
It's like, well, why? Why even? But there's also other stipulation systems, insurance, whole thing.
So something else you incorporate, we didn't even really talk about that, is meditations, right? I mean, you do meditations. Can we just touch on that a little bit? Maybe a little bit of your background with that, because I know you talked about Insight Timer and a little bit about that, and share maybe how you put that into your sessions.
Yeah, definitely. So yes, meditation is one of the limbs of yoga.
Yeah.
So that is also incorporated in the work that I do. I do love when people are like, I'll introduce meditations and people are like, I can't meditate. I don't want to sit here for 30 minutes and not think about my thoughts. And I'm like, well, meditation is actually noticing your thoughts. You cannot just wipe your thoughts clean. You can't just empty your mind. There is mind chatter. It's noticing them and then just placing them to the side, saying, I'm going to think about that later, and focusing on what's here and now. I am focusing on my breath. Meditation could be looking at a candle, a flame. That can be a sort of meditation. Meditation can be a minute long of you just focusing on your breathing. Meditation can be cloud watching. It's really just being mindful and focusing your mind's eye on yourself, ultimately on what you want to focus on, what you want the goal, the outcome of meditation to be. It's focusing on that. And I actually just finished a training for Yoga Nidra, which is yogic sleep. And that's a deep form of meditation. It's that space in between awake and sleep. And it's living in that space and meditating in that. You don't want to be fully asleep, but you also aren't fully awake. And it's a beautiful state to be in.
What do they call it? Savasana, like at the end of the yoga session where you lay and it's like, please do not wake me up out of this. This is the best part.
Yes, it's very similar to that. It's a longer form of Shavasana. Just really focusing on that and counting backwards. It's a whole thing. It's a beautiful experience. Oh my gosh. It's like being in the dream state. So I love that. That's been my new fixation, if you will.
That's amazing.
Definitely going to take that into the therapeutic space long term as well.
Oh my gosh. Do you have a session for that on Insight Timer?
I actually do.
You do?
So
oh my gosh. I am totally going to do that tonight.
It's so funny because I literally just recorded one. And on Insight Timer, it's a yoga nidra practice. And then it's also 8 hours of brown noise that I actually created myself.
What?
Listen, it might be a little janky because I'm not an engineer.
Yeah.
And I don't have microphones. I'm just now getting into this. But I practiced with it and I was feeling really good.
Gosh, tell us, what is brown noise? I don't even know this term.
Do you know white noise?
Yeah. Like
Sound
the
machines we
background.
use. So it's a thing like that. Brown noise, though, is different because it utilizes those lower frequencies to kind of put you in a deeper state of rest. And I specifically wanted that associated with my nidra practice because they accompany each other really well. So as you are moving through the meditation and then towards the end, I mean, the brown noise is in the background, but then towards the end, I go quiet and then the brown noise kind of increases a bit, but it's there to support you as you rest throughout the night and fall asleep eventually. And hopefully it's a nice holding space. So it's like white noise, but a lower form. It kind of feels like I wanted it to feel like a hug.
Oh my gosh.
So that's what it feels like to me.
How'd you make the music? I'm so curious because part of what we talk about on here too is scaling outside of the therapy room, like putting meditations on Insight Timer, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so curious, how did you make the brown noise?
Girl, garage band.
I love it.
I literally went on GarageBand. I said, because I couldn't find anything that it was of quality that I liked. So I was like, I wonder if I can create this myself. I was like, I've played around with GarageBand before. Let me see. And so I went in there and I Googled some things about the frequency for brown noise. And I was able to play around for a while. I also took some time to do this. Okay?
Yeah.
As a therapist and a practice owner, I take time aside for things like this when I have the creative juices. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a day to do this, to record. And I got time to play around with GarageBand, and I did the frequencies and I had the noise and the ambiance noise and things. And I got a little frustrated from time to time with trying to extend the sound and the perfection piece of it, but then I had to let that go. And I was like, you know what? It'll be for who it's for, and it's fine for me.
Love that. That's a good skill, right?
Yeah.
Progress, not perfection, or whatever they say. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. And who knows? I might make another one.
You should. That's awesome. So how do we find you on Insight Timer? Because I'm totally going to do this tonight. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah. So I think if you go on Insight Timer, you can just type in my name, Crystal Jones. Yeah. And I'll be up there. I look like I'm breathing with my eyes closed and my hands like this.
Nice.
But I do have a therapist directory on Insight Timer. And then I also have the teacher profile. And under there, you'll see I have a yoga nidra meditation. I have a meditation called When Rest Isn't Enough. And then another one, Introduction to the Butterfly Hug.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting. I'm going to go check it out. I hope everybody listening will too. That's really cool.
Please do. Yeah.
So we talked about a lot of stuff, and we always do like a little lightning round at the end. And what is your go-to like personal self-care thing that you can't live without? Every day you've got to do this thing.
Let me see. There's so many things. You know what it is? I have to have time to myself. I have to be in solitude at least 5 minutes out of the day. If not, no. It has to be some form of rest. It used to be naps. However, life has gotten busier. So any form of micro rest that I can do, whether that's just sitting with myself, going outside. I love being in my car too. Oh, love it. And then also in the morning, sometimes I will, if I'm in the space where I'm up before others, I will just wait before I even get up or open my eyes.
Yeah.
If I notice that I'm awake, I'll keep my eyes closed and wait for my body to be ready because, those thoughts start flooding in and you want to, I got to get up and I got to do that. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. And I ask myself, well, what are you looking forward to today? And I try to find something that I'm looking forward to. And then that helps me get up and move through the day in a more intentional way.
I love that. So you don't just go right for your cell phone like I do.
I mean,
as soon as I wake up, I'm like, let me check my...
Sometimes it's like that. I actually have an app now where it like cuts off my socials
Oh,
before
smart.
9 a.m.
Smart.
because it was like that. And I was like, all right, we need to do something
That's
about
smart.
this. I'm like, I can't even get on. So I guess I'll just
Layer.
be.
Yeah, which is way better. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Crystal, for taking the time today. It's really been cool to get to know you and learn about you and how you're making this really non-traditional practice work in your life and helping your clients.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for having me.
You're welcome.